beginning of a battle that we are going to win. When I hear this beautiful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner, the only thought that comes to my mind is, if this is the land of the free, the U.S. military disciplinary barracks at Leavenworth should not be the home of the brave. And something has gone wrong, terribly wrong, in a country where we're worried about whether or not Johnny Taliban gets the right to pray with Muslims in a prison, and we have imprisoned the very men who protect this country. So it's time for us to take back this country. It's time for us to make sure that we're getting the response from the people who are representing us in Washington right now. It's a travesty that there are people sitting on the House Armed Services Committee, including one of the congressmen from my area in Florida, who have done nothing about this case. So we're going to make it impossible for them to continue doing nothing by getting the story out to everybody. Each one of you is your own radio program. There's no place you should go that you don't bring it up. If you have to wear a shirt, if you have to wear a button, if you have to wear a wristband. I wear a wristband every day that says defendmichael.com. And the only thing when people ask me about that wristband after I tell the story is to say that I want to be there the day that Michael cuts this wristband off of my wrist. And it better be soon. But today we have an opportunity to listen to the other heroes, the family members who stand by, who don't understand why what happened happened, but nonetheless remain faithful to the United States of America. It's time for you to hear their stories so that you know what you take back out there with you. Each one of you is going to have a responsibility when you leave here today to make sure that you call into radio programs all over the country and you tell the story. Anytime they're talking about any issue that has to do with the United States military and the rules of engagement and the catch and release policy, you're going to have a story to tell. If you don't know these stories, you go on the website and you find out. But for today, you're going to have an opportunity to hear what it's like to be left at home after you sent your brave son or your brave husband or your brother or your father off to fight in a war to protect the liberties of not just us here at home, but liberties of people all over the world, liberating countries from vicious despots. And to find our men imprisoned is just unacceptable. Oh, you're the news guy.
Yeah, I'm the news guy.
I'm from New York. I've seen you on television, Access Hollywood.
That's right.
How about that?
I come to you from a strange and foreign land, New York City. And it gets worse, I'm a member of the media there. Yeah, I know. I'm disappointed in them too. I'm actually disappointed if we don't see more cameras out here today and more reporters out here today, but I do thank the ones who showed up. And go ahead. Joyce said something very, very important, and that is to leave this moment with a mission. And that is a mission to get media coverage, because I can tell you what, you are blowing in the wind unless you get some media coverage for this. And I, for the life of me, can't understand why the national news outlets have not picked this up. I don't know, this is right down Fox News' alley. I cannot understand why they haven't picked up this story. So that should be your mission. You know, coming from New York City, I do have a unusual, unique perspective on this whole thing. On the day that the towers came down, and on the day that the Pentagon and a field in western Pennsylvania were ablaze, a call went out across the country for the strong and the brave to go out and get monsters where they live, and the ones that dared to bring that evil to our shore. And tens of thousands responded. Tens of thousands responded. And they did a thankless and treacherous job. They went into hell. And they met evil where it breeds to make sure that it never happens again. They did their job. They were all heroes. They killed monsters. Some of them got medals. Some of them are fighting still. Some of them are home with their families. and 10 were sent to Leavenworth for murder. Murder? In war? Charging people with murder in war is like giving out speeding tickets at a NASCAR race. It's like charging a pass rusher during an NFL game with assault and battery. The rules of engagement are so ass backwards, the people out in the field don't know whether to shoot or hug the terrorists. And when they do catch them, sometimes they're told that they have to let them go. They catch them with caches of weapons. They catch them with explosives and detonators, and then they have to let them go because we want to win the hearts and minds. Is this a war or bass fishing? And believe me, the enemy doesn't work by the same rules of engagement. They behead terrorists on the internet. They behead Americans, I should say, on the internet. They beat them and burn them in the streets and hang them from bridges. If you read the Al-Qaeda playbook, and there is such a thing, they use our own laws against us. The people know what to say when they're caught to get our men in trouble. It's called lawfare. And it's been extremely successful, and our laws sometimes aid and abet the enemy. I've seen the worst of this, by the way, in New York, when they were going to move the trial of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed to civilian court. He still hasn't been tried. He was caught 8 years ago, and we haven't killed him yet. He admitted to masterminding a plot that killed 3,000 people, and he has not only been tried. The 10 in Leavenworth, they were tried lickety-split. Is that justice? Al-Megrahi, he was convicted of killing 270 people, of blowing up a plane over Lockerbie, Scotland, 190 of them American. He was let go for compassionate reasons. He was supposed to have 3 months to live. It's been, a year and 2 months, and he's still alive. He's expected to live a long life. He got a hero's welcome in Libya. And now we found out that BP had a deal to get Libyan offshore oil rights. Is that justice? Nobody stood trial for that. Al-Megrahi is free. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed still hasn't stood trial. And you have 10 brave men in Leavenworth who killed people like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and Al-Megrahi, who have lost their freedom. Is that justice?
No. Hell no.
I thank you all for being here today. Those men in Leavenworth and the men that responded to the call after the towers came down did so to fight for your freedom. It is your responsibility now to fight for their freedom. Free the Leavenworth 10.